Electro-Demon.
ELZ is overrun. Psycho and I are moving to the signal location. Nomad, there's a checkpoint blocking the path up the valley, so deal with that first. Transmitting the coordinates now.
Hey guys, I'm Electro-Demon, and today I'm reviewing a cult classic PC game called Crysis. Was this game a mere tech demo, or there's something more to it? Stick with this review to find out. Crysis came out in 2007 and took the PC gaming world by storm. It was the most impressive looking game on the market. Playing it at ultra settings required some insane PC specs, and even that often wasn't enough. It was a game before its time in terms of graphics. It only came out for the PC at the time, but in 2013 a console port was released for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It was an inferior port, but at least the console gamers got to play it. But we're not here for that version. We're here today to review the PC version. You play as Nomad, a member of the special force group called Raptor Team. Some scientists send a distress signal saying that the North Koreans are invading an island that her team is working on, and you're sent in along with your team. The Raptor team has nanosuits. These are suits that give the one wearing it special abilities, but we'll talk about that later. Crysis basically happens on an island called the Lingshan Island. It's actually a series of islands. When you arrive on the island to rescue the scientists, your team will encounter some very odd things, and your crew will get thinned out. That's as far as I'm comfortable talking about the story without treading into spoiler territory. The island is beautiful. Gorgeous lush vegetation, trees, and generally an interesting flora and fauna. The first half of the game you'll be dealing with the Korean forces. Quite overwhelming odds considering you're basically alone. To help you in your battle against the Korean forces, there are your nanosuit abilities. You basically have 4 abilities that your suit provides you, and they're quite useful and pretty interesting to use. There's stealth, which turns you invisible. Really great for stealth, obviously. The faster you move, more your energy drains. Also, if you fire your weapon while using stealth, your energy automatically drains to 0, as a way of balancing things out. It's a pretty wise design choice. The other ability you can use is Maximum Strength. It basically amplifies the damage you do with your guns and melee punches. It also allows you to jump higher, which is useful when you need to go to higher ground. The third ability is Maximum Speed, which is, as the name suggests, all about speed. It makes your character run very fast, but it also drains quite fast. The last ability is Maximum Armor. This basically absorbs some of the damage you take. It's also very useful for intense firefights. The Koreans shouldn't be much of a challenge if you take the stealth route. I always found myself using stealth to get close to an enemy, then switching to maximum damage to take the shot, and then again entering maximum stealth. But nobody is forcing you to play stealthy. You can go all guns blazing if that's your style. But the enemy AI is quite smart. They'll hide, duck, get to cover, and on top of that, they're very precise in their aim. I mean, they're firing at you from 100 feet away and landing perfect shots at you while you're struggling to even see them. But generally, the AI is very good. Guns are also very interesting in Crysis. There's a standard roster of guns, nothing really special about them. Machine guns, submachine guns, shotgun, sniper rifle, Tesla gun, rocket launcher, pistol, and an alien gun in the later half of the game. I like how you can customize your weapon on the go. You press the mouse wheel button and then you go into this mod selection. There you can equip your gun with a silencer, you can swap different aim attachments and more. I really like this. There are even vehicles in the game. Cars, jeeps, VTOLs and more. I honestly rarely use them. I use jeeps sometimes for traversal, but that's pretty much it. If you decide to use the vehicles, the jeep will be your main vehicle you can use. It's a fine vehicle, but the controls are kinda bad. I always got stuck on pretty much everything. There's a mission in the game that has you driving a tank. Now, that's a fun mission. Really enjoyed that. The tank doesn't seem to have the problems like the Jeep has. There's also some turret sections later in the game. That was also quite fun. These sections don't overstay their welcome and they're pretty fun. Most of them are short. In the latter half of the game, you get introduced to aliens, and they're pretty much tougher to kill than the Korean soldiers. There's not a big variety of them. Small ones that can lunge at you and hurt you pretty bad, and the bigger ones that fly and soak up a lot of damage. And for the most part, they're fun to kill. I rarely use the shotgun when dealing with the Koreans, but I found myself using it quite often for these creatures. Now, when you're introduced to the aliens, there's a mission that involves zero gravity. You basically float and you need to navigate your way out of this alien cave. It's the worst mission I've ever played in my life. It's hard to see, the floaty controls made me dizzy and I was disoriented most of the time. It's a royal pain to get through this mission. And it's a long mission. Also, towards the end, there's a mission in which you have to fly a VTOL. It's something like a plane. This was a shorter mission than the zero gravity one, but it was also quite bad. I ended up quick save scumming my way through it. Crysis is at its best when it gives you open space and the freedom to pursue mission objectives your way. This is a linear game, but with a sense of freedom. You know what you need to do and go, but how you're gonna get there, the game leaves that choice to you. I heard a lot of people on the forums talking how Crysis was a tech demo, a gorgeous looking game with subpar gameplay, and that simply is not true. Crysis is a great game with even greater graphics. It's a 10-hour journey that is filled with interesting gameplay moments. There's always something new being introduced. You get bored of Koreans, you get the aliens. You get bored of standard grunts, you get a fight against a helicopter. There are also enough missions to break the monotony, like the tank mission I mentioned, zero gravity mission and VTOL mission. It's really a complete package. The graphics are the best that was available at that time. Hell, it still looks insanely good, even today. The foliage is gorgeous, the lighting system was so advanced at the time. There's also quite advanced physics in the game. You can knock down almost every tree in the game. Barrels bounce around, houses collapse, etc. Really impressive, even today. We all know the famous question on the internet when it comes to hardware. Can it run Crysis? I played it at Ultra, with HD texture pack installed. I also added a bit of color saturation because I feel the original colors were a bit lifeless and bland. You can even apply reshade in the game to make it look even more beautiful. I tried doing that, but the GOG version I have doesn't want to cooperate with reshade. What I didn't appreciate in the game is this. When you load up the game, you get a barrage of advertisements from Nvidia, Intel and Crytek. I would understand if this happens the first time you enter the game, but this happens every time, and it lasts 30 seconds. Really annoying. What also sucks is the zero gravity mission, the most headache-inducing level I ever saw in a video game. Also, the VTOL mission sucks, but it's actually okay when compared with the zero gravity one. Also, the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in a PC video game is the aim system. You click the right mouse to aim down sights, and when you release it, you expect it to exit the aim down sights mode, right? Well, in Crysis, you have to click the right mouse button again to exit aim mode. I've never seen this before, and there's no option in the game to fix this problem. But there is a third-party solution to this. It's basically a script that allows you to have normal aim in Crysis. Check the description. I've put a Google Drive link there. In this file you'll find the script, the program that executes the script, and detailed instructions. You're welcome. So, is Crysis worth playing today? Well, yes. Yes it is. Especially if you never played it before. It holds up today, both graphically and gameplay-wise. It's a very good shooter, and you can find it pretty cheap on GOG. Definitely worth the price of admission. If I had to give a score to this game, I'd give it 8.7 out of 10.